All right, and welcome back. Joining us on the line now is Ahmad from the 1 Minute Show. Hello, Ahmad.
Yes, hello Noor. How are you?
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nice to talk with you, Noor.
Thank you so much for taking this time and joining us. Ahmad, can you let listeners know who may not have already seen the 1 Minute Show, ONEMINUTE, 1 Minute Show, and I caught it on Facebook. Is that where you mostly presented, or where is the 1 Minute Show available?
Okay, so 1 Minute Show is a documentary historical show for 1 to 2 minutes, crafted specifically for all Canadian, American, European, and people who support Israel. You can find mainly on Instagram, TikTok. This is my primary channel, and also on Facebook, YouTube, and other. I'm offering a Palestine and Israel conflict in 100 questions.
So Ahmad, what do you mean when you're saying that you are presenting it in 100 questions? What is the idea behind the 1 Minute Show?
Okay, let me highlight that 1 Minute Show is not a point of view or biased show, and I'm using Israel newspaper or international reference like New York Times, Guardian, CNN, and Jewish Historian as a kind of reference. 1 Minute Show is why I have to present it, or what is the idea behind it. When I found Israel bombing hospitals, schools, civilian areas, and whole medias, politicians and all the media justify killing thousands of civilians as human shield excuse. I really get shocked. What do you mean by human shield excuse? If I know this area has just one civilian, I can't use a bomb at this area. I have to keep him alive. I have to protect his life. Would you believe in 2023 there are more than 2 million people without water, gas, electricity, or food? As a country, Israel decide to punish them with the support and silence of our government, Canadian government and American government, and silence of the whole world. That's why I crafted 1 Minute Show. It's a kind of question, very simple question. If you can answer this question and help me, you're gonna find the point of this show.
So, Ahmed, what you have been doing is crafting a question and then articulating a response or asking further questions, I guess. Can you describe for listeners, if they haven't heard it, what kinds of content they get in the 1 Minute Show? For example, give us 2 or 3 different types of issues or things that you have been unpacking.
Yes, so for example, when I say for our Canadian people right now, Canada has a kind of value. Canadian, we all cherish our history right now. But if it's a kind of hypocrites when we can't rectify the past, and you can find that Canada even admit with the mistakes that happen with indigenous people right now. So if you can't rectify the past, do you think when you make a new mistakes right now by grant the land of Palestinian people to the occupation country or Israel or to the occupier, do you think this is a mindful decision? I'm trying to give you a tips. Mm-hmm. When I say right now, all the international law admit that Israel is occupation country, and the Palestinian doesn't have a minimum requirement of the life from water, gas, and minimum requirement as a human being. What do you think the Palestinian people response should be after 75 years of occupation? Give me your answer. What do you think? What do you think Palestinian people should do after 75 years from occupation? So it's a very simple question.
Mm-hmm. And so you have a series of questions, 100 questions that you intend to unpack.
Yes, that's true.
And what has been the response so far on the videos?
Really, response, okay. This is really very hard question. So I can divide the response into 3 categories. The first one, even from the social media itself, I can find that my hand is a little bit tied because I found my account on TikTok get suspended many times, and I have to submit the appeal and wait a couple of days until I receive a response with acceptance or refusal. And the same thing could happen on Instagram because there are a numerous report on my account all the day. So I found myself all the time gaining and losing followers because of that, which is normal. And I'm doing that voluntarily for the sake of Allah. So I don't care about what happened here. The second category or second response, there is a kind of numerous insult to me and my religion with many bad words sometimes. And even accusation with anti-Semitism. I was wondering how some people are using just a word of anti-Semitism as a false accusation to silence any criticism of Israel and silence any other voice. As the Muslims, you know that Muslims love Jewish, we love Christian, and this is from our religion even. And I didn't say anything against Jewish at all. So this is a false accusation. The third category, this is the main one I'm focused in, who are the people who start to search on my reference. They get shocked that really, Israel admitted they used a white phosphorus weapon. And they get shocked when they know that Israel admitted that they killed Shireen Abu Akleh, journalist. And Israel, yes, establishment was based on the international law as occupied country. So I get so happy when I read the comment or I receive a message about we are so appreciate your work and we get new information we don't know about. So this is give me a kind of motivations and make me happy to complete my questions and complete 1 minute show.
That's great. Thank you so much for taking the time to make the show, and also for taking the time and the personal hits on your emotion and your mental health as you're going through this. As you said, you do get negative responses. You're also fighting with the handles, with the social media giants there who are playing around with your account. So I commend you. Thank you so much for taking this time. I have seen a number of your 1 minute videos. I found them personally quite instructive. I really like the way that you go about answering, positioning the question, showing the references, and then unpacking it, asking Canadians, ordinary Canadians, for their response to the question. I want to focus in on your question 5, which I noticed that you are talking about the media. And in particular, you bring up the straw man fallacy tactics. Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, so straw man fallacy is the kind of tactics I found majority of the media use today. When you are taking argument out of context, and for instance, when we're going to protest today to support Palestinian right and stop genocide, what's happened now in Palestine, it's a genocide. You're going to say that you are supporting terrorism. I'm not supporting terrorism. I'm a human being. I'm a human being, and I have to stand against what Israel is doing right now. That's it. I'm not supporting any terrorism, but they are trying to make a false accusation and taking argument out of content. This is a straw man fallacy. Straw man fallacy making mean focus on a specific aspect of an opponent statement. For instance, you're going to find all the discussion of the media right now about condemnation of Hamas and condemnation of the Palestinian people and 7 October instance. What about the history for 75 years before 7 of October? No one is talking about that. What about the war that Israel started in 2008, 2010, 2014? What about Palestinian human being rights, which is absence for 75 years? No one likes to talk about that. This is a straw man fallacy. It's a kind of false accusation and make you distracted and confused with all of the false news. This is what the media is doing right now.
Ahmed, how many questions have you unpacked up to this point? What number are you at?
I just present the 14 question 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm preparing question 15 now.
What is question 14 unpacking?
It was about how Israel established and how 1 million Palestinian people moved from their land. How Zionist success in move 1 million Palestinian people and without returning them back. Okay,
right. And as far as the questions go, Ahmed, how do they occur to you? Are these questions you are already developed in a list? Are you going as the news and events are going and you are inspired? Or give us an idea. Do you already have a bunch of questions written down, for example, that you know that you are going to intend to? What is the process that you follow as you develop your series?
Yes, I prepared already. I have a tactics. I prepared this. This is 100 topics that I need to cover and share with the people. But frankly speaking, sometimes I found myself just need to set this question as a priority right now, especially after I found a numerous attack and a numerous report with anti-Semitism. I found myself, no, I need to present these questions right now. This is the time. This is the right time. Because I'm and even when I found insult to my religion, specifically as a Muslims, I found myself, guys, I'm Muslims believe in Jesus. Muslims believe in Moses and Jacob. So Muslims, they don't know anything about anti-Semitism. This is a false accusation. So I already set the 100 questions and 100 topics, and I'm going one by one by them. And as I told you, I'm trying my best to keep the reference, their reference. I'm trying to use Israel reference, CNN, Guardian, New York Times, New York Times. I'm trying to use their reference, not my reference.
Right. And at the end, Ahmad, what is your central message to anybody who is listening, whether they are the government or politicians or whoever? What is the message that you are trying to send to people?
Right now, we can find millions of people on the street asking for a ceasefire. We need a ceasefire right now. This is our main goal. We need to stop killing. We need all the civilians to be safe. This is the main message. So please, Mr. Trudeau, please, all the MPs and all the politicians, we supported and voted for them. We need them to know that we will never forget any MPs. We go for them and we give him a call and we asked his support to stop this genocide, and he doesn't listen to us. We will never forget that. So please, keep your ear open to the voice and millions of voice now. Our Canadian value doesn't allow our country and Canadian government to support occupation country with weapons and military weapons. This is against our Canadian value. This is really make us at the taxpayer so frustrated and disappointed. This should be revised by our government. This should be stopped immediately. We can't support genocide, and we have to ask for a ceasefire immediately.
And Ahmad, once again, let listeners know where they can follow you, where they can find this content.
You just have to write 1 minute show on Instagram, on TikTok, and you're going to find easy my channel. Okay. It's very easy to find it, yeah.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you so much for doing this work and for taking this time out and sharing more about it with us.
Thanks for this chance, and thanks for your time, Noor. Really appreciate to be with you today. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.